but I just wanted to go live because it we are day 7 of 2026, and I cannot even describe the fucking bullshit we're already dealing with. I mean, we could talk about Venezuela. We know how that's a disaster. Love watching Congress just roll over. Mike Johnson will go down as the worst Speaker of the House ever in United States history, because Speaker of House's job is to and is to project the power of the legislative branch, not to do what the president says. You can work with the president legislatively, but your job is to be a check and balance. Same thing with the Supreme Court. But Mike Johnson has basically said, whatever Trump wants, we're going to do. Trump is their God. And if you saw that, whatever that was, when he brought all Republicans to the Kennedy Center, and he's up there in the midst of a possible economic collapse, no one having health care, or the ACAs is done, no subsidies, people's insurance going up on average 114%. It's affecting private insurance too. You'll see that prices get passed on. And also, there are a lot of ACA rules that were part of private insurance that are going to disappear. And Republicans don't give a fuck. They don't. They don't care about you. I've always said it, and I will continue to say it. To vote Republican is to court death, because they do everything they can for the very rich and themselves, but not for us, not for the middle class. And that is just the beginning. Layoffs are going to continue. Tariffs are killing business and manufacturing. But Trump is continuing with his lies that tariffs are the greatest thing. He want everyone to call him Mr. Tariff. What they're going to call him is the man who started World War III. If the idea of invading Venezuela was supposed to soothe his ego, I guess it did. They're still having a hard on for Greenland. I don't get it. All right. And the idea now is Pete Hegseth's idea that by changing the name of the Defense Department to the Department of War, that we don't pursue diplomatic relations with anyone or pursue democratic solutions to everything. It's all about power. It's all about strength and conquest. It's fucking bullshit. That's 19th century thinking. And let's be honest, the United States in the 19th century wasn't that powerful. The British were. Okay? And the British, at one point, as we all know, the sun did not set in the British Empire, but it always ended badly. It ended badly because you cannot subjugate people without consequences. Now, in Venezuela, they don't even know who's running the government. They think the vice president is running the government, or now Stephen Miller is running the government, or we don't know. But the worst part of that is Trump keeps saying that we're going to rebuild the infrastructure in Venezuela, that we're going to give the oil companies money to rebuild the oil infrastructure. And we don't even have, they keep taking money from us to deal with our infrastructure. You know, we had an infrastructure bill. We were rebuilding stuff across America that was giving good jobs. We had all that. But since it happened under the Biden administration, they killed it. Congress has given Trump all the power. John Roberts, when he was an intern during the Reagan administration, forgot who he interned for on the Supreme Court, is a great believer that the executive branch is literally the end all or be all. They can do anything they want, which is wrong. That's not what the founding fathers wanted. No, they did not want a king. That was a standard set by Washington himself. That's why he stepped down after 2 terms. They wanted 3 equal branches working together. They did not want this. Trust me, this so-called, if they're talking about the true nature of the Constitution, then they would be talking, then Everything that Trump's done is against that. This is the second term with no guardrails. He has fired everyone that tried to help him. And they cleaned house in the military. Because I'll guarantee you, if Mark Milley was still chief of staff, still the Joint Chief of Staff chairman, we wouldn't be in this. He'd be fighting them every inch of the way. Remember, at the end of the first Trump administration, they wanted to pull the plug on Afghanistan before, just leave it a mess, before Biden was inaugurated president. And Milley and the Defense Department stopped it, people in there. Trump got rid of all those people. It took him a year to butcher the upper echelon of the military command to get what they want. Dean Cain is a traitor to the United States. He is. He's not loyal to the Constitution. He's loyal to Donald Trump. That's not what the Constitution says. He is not a true military man. He's just there to do whatever Pete Hegseth wants. Pete Hegseth is a failed man. They're all failed men. Stephen Miller is a failed man. Pete Hegseth, all of those people in his cabinet are failed white men who are looking for power. Now, Trump has decided that we're just going to take the oil from Venezuela. That's right. We're going to put it in storage ships and ship it to the U.S., and then we're going to sell it. And he's going to control where the money goes. Oh, my God. That's so many violations of the Constitution. You can't. I mean, and also that's just colonialism. You just took a country's resources without consequence. There is no rule of law right now. There is no one calling them out. And I don't hear anything from Democrats. And again, I'm going to vote Democrat. And the problem with criticizing Democrats, it adds to a very bad narrative. But all I hear from Chuck Schumer is, we're going to work bipartisan with Republicans. I haven't heard a fucking word from Hakeem Jeffries. So my point is, why is someone not on the Senate floor screaming about the unconstitutionality of this? Scream about Trump using executive power unconstitutionally. Why aren't you screaming for an investigation, screaming for any kind of consequences? Yeah, I know the Department of Justice is owned by him. I'm also going to put this on the Senate. You approved every one of those people in those places. Now we're fucked. And to watch Stephen Miller talking about it's not about diplomacy, it's about power is bullshit. He really said no one's going to fight the U.S. military over Greenland. Okay, keep saying that. And this is all Putin driven too. Putin has been trying to get rid of NATO. I got some asshole put a comment in one of my videos about, that Denmark is saying NATO will collapse if they take Greenland, if we force the issue. It basically attack on Denmark, which is a NATO member. We should activate Article 5. Instead of NATO going to war, they're just going to break NATO apart, which is what Putin has wanted forever, since when he was part of the Russian KGB. And someone put in my comments, well, NATO shouldn't exist because the Warsaw Pact is no longer there, so we should have gotten rid of it. You people are fucking dumb. 1 in 3 people are apparently, they put this in the news like this is a good thing. 1 in 3 people approve of Trump. When I do my math, and the one thing about thirds was one of the first things I learned in math, that's 33%. Okay? That's only approximately 33% of Americans approve of this shit. That's not even a majority. That's a small minority. And they're running with this. And Republicans can do something. I mean, you could file suits. I mean, one thing I'm pissed about is, hey, states, especially Democratic states, they took your money for kids, for childcare. When are you going to sue? to get that money back because that money was designated by Congress. It was already given to you. When are you going to do something about it? Okay. And fuck, just, I just fucking crazy right now because now we have to talk about what happened in Minnesota. ICE thinks they're above the law. Brett Kavanaugh, as soon as he gave that Fourth Amendment ruling saying that they have probable cause to stop anybody as an ICE agent, is where we got fucked. Now, Brett Kavanaugh apparently is upset because ICE agents call every time they stop someone, Kavanaugh stops. And he's all upset about it. No, motherfucker, you basically put a stipulation on the Fourth Amendment that probable cause means nothing to an ICE agent. That's when people say, do you have a warrant? They don't need one. Supreme Court has said it pretty much. They do not need a warrant. So, which brings us to Minnesota, where that lady got stuck in that mess, tried to get away. And yeah, I've seen the video, Christy Nome. That was a murder. No police officer, a trained police officer, would do that. Ever. If they do that, there would be consequences. There needs to be consequences for this ICE agent. Just because Christy Nome and the DHS saying, hey, no, she was threatening. No, she wasn't. The videos are out there. You cannot run around the video. And what now I believe the Minnesota police should do, or whatever Governor Walz needs to do, that man, that ICE agent committed a murder in the state of Minnesota, needs to be arrested and charged for murder in the state of Minnesota. He has no federal immunity for that shit. He needs to be arrested and brought to justice for the family of that person. There, she was not a threat, and I already get the videos, my videos about it. I already get the comments. Well, she was assaulting him. Yeah, he had the right. No, he did not. Unless she was literally trying to run him over while he was standing right in front of the grill of the car. She was stepping on the gas. He had no right to shoot her, and he shot her from the side 3 times in the face. ICE agents, every one of them are white supremacists. Every one of them are not are not trained officers. They have so many of them. They're bringing anybody in. I mean, anyone that even looks like me. I'm talking about overweight. I've seen them. What the fuck? But they're so desperate. All you have to do you hate people of color? Yes, you're in. That's basically what it is. So it's up to the state of Minnesota now just to basically basically exercise their state's rights. That was a murder committed in the city of Minneapolis. Minneapolis has the right to arrest that person for murder and try them. If they're so worried about it, let's go to court. Let's go to court. Get his lawyer out there. Put the evidence out there. Innocent until proven guilty. Hey, let's do it. But he needs to be arrested today. Fucking today. Okay? It's simple. It's fucking simple. And everyone's complicating this. Everyone's complicating this because they're afraid of what Trump's going to react. Fuck it. We already know what he's going to react. We already know what he's going to do, which is freak out. But what else is he going to do in a state? I mean, you see what he's trying to do in Colorado with Tina Peters. You can't do that. She was convicted by the state of Colorado for state law violations. She's staying in jail. Okay, unless the Supreme Court wants to get involved and say, oh, states' rights don't matter. Really? Fought a fucking civil war over that. God damn, you people. And this today in Minnesota has to be an extreme exercise of states' rights. Also, the Second Amendment. Let's talk about that. Okay? The Second Amendment is distinct about everyone having weapons to defend themselves against the government. Okay? Now, that's been a point of contention for decades because people who want guns without regulations quote that in case the government turns on you. Guess what, all? Government turned on you. The government has turned on us. Okay? That today was the last straw. Okay? The government turned on us. Whenever an ICE agent shows up at your door now, they're looking to kill you. That's the only interpretation you have left. And at that point, you have a right to defend yourself. And if they, in the court, Second Amendment, this was a violation of my sovereignty under the Constitution by an unlawful government. It's time. And again, I know all you motherfuckers who are Trump fucks are going, yeah, well, liberals don't have guns. Liberals have guns. They have fucking guns. They have weapons. See, this is why I'm having a discussion here in Substack, because if I did it on TikTok, they would fucking, I would go, woof, I'd be restricted. At least I can do it here. And you guys could spread the word from you, all you guys here. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, Binary 38 US. If you haven't done a paid subscription, I would appreciate it. You can follow me on Binary 38 US on YouTube. And then I'm on TikTok, RJ127, for as long as TikTok exists. But that being said, there is no reason why we cannot exercise our Second Amendment rights now in self-defense. Period. We saw what happened today. And I know all the fucking latte liberals are going, we don't want to do that. I mean, it'll just escalate the violence. Well, fuck, they just did. There is a creator, Park Rose Permaculture, who is one of those kumbaya fucking liberals. I am not a liberal. I'm just common fucking sense. Okay? Trump is a fucking cancer. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in America. Fuck, I believe in business. I don't mind you being rich as long as you pay your fair share. I don't give a goddamn. You know what? I think Amazon was one of the greatest ideas ever. But the problem is the man running it will not pay his people properly or give them health care. It will cut down your profit a little bit, but how many more motherfucking yachts do you need, Bezios? You see my point? We could have a well-structured capitalist system with a beautiful um, uh, safety net for everyone. We could have universal health care. You know why? I pay $700 fucking dollars every 2 weeks for health care in my paycheck. Not much later because I'm fucking sick. There's nothing worse than sick and trying to get a paycheck. But that being said, that money can be used. If you want to tax me for that and then get a universal health care, and I can go to the doctor without having to fucking worry about deductions, how much I have to pay, co-pays, how much I have to pay before they cover everything. I just went that discussion with Cigna today because my wife, as everyone knows, has breast cancer and she's going to have surgery. Now I got to figure out between the two of us, I have a $9,000 I have to pay before they pay everything. Everything else is 80/20. Tomorrow, I have a CT scan, determine how they're going to insert an aortic valve in me, a replacement valve. Is it going to be through my thigh or do they have to do open heart surgery? Trust me, I'm scared as fuck right now for that. But I need it. But that's another cost. We literally have to cough up $9,000. Okay. And I got an FSA account with $3,000 in it. That's not going to cover it. I'm fucking not happy about it. But can you imagine any other country all across the world and all the other countries but the United States? I could get this done without a dime. My kids, my adult children wouldn't have to worry about being sick or going to the hospital because they don't have insurance. And what does the United States do? Nothing. Nothing for healthcare. Republicans did nothing. They hung everyone out to dry. Medicaid has been cut. Medicare is going to be cut next. And it's a mess. And we can't deal with it. Why? Because our president is a dimension-ridden asshole who's determined to use the United States military to feel better by himself. That speech the other day when he said, we're going to put boots on the ground. Yeah, I'm willing to take the risks with boots on the ground. What? This from a man who had 5 fucking deferments in Vietnam? You see, all this imperialistic bullshit they're talking about requires human beings in the military. Men, women, children, men and women, probably men, but your sons. And that is going to institute a draft. And trust me, if they do that, shit's going to hit the fan. We do not have a military big enough to do what they want to do. They are working on the idea that people are so afraid of nuclear weapons. You're pushing this, guys. You're pushing this. It's not going to work. Okay? And now here we are. That man is crazy. He's crazy and he's greedy and he's taking everything for himself. Meanwhile, in the United States, we're struggling to deal with, and the European people are not happy with us. The Canadians aren't happy with us. They want to know why we're not in the streets, why we're not playing the streets, shutting everything down. And I get it. We have personal lives. We don't have a safety net that allows us to go just stop working. We're afraid to lose our jobs in this economic sense. I get it. I really do. But Park Rose Permaculture made a video, but a European said that. She's trying to explain it. And Europeans got upset. They got upset. And then she went after the Europeans because they should understand is that 70% of us don't support us. They should still support us. You know what? No. What I'm getting pushed back lately too, is that we're all responsible for this bullshit. We have to accept that we elected Donald Trump as president of the United States. And if I hear one more motherfucker tell me, I didn't vote for him, you might have, but I didn't, fuck you. Because that tells me you didn't vote or you don't give a fuck at this point. And it's all a shit sandwich we have to take a bite out of. Now we have to unfuck this, but a good majority, especially the far left, don't want anything about it. Why? Because they want everything to burn down. They really think if everything burns down, they'll still be safe. This is my message to Canadians, because I know I have quite a few Canadians that follow me, and to Europeans who hear my message. Still fighting it. You guys own a lot of our debt, our bonds, American Treasury bonds. The Chinese owe trillions of our bonds. The Japanese do. Everyone does. Excuse me. The EU. Call them in. Call them in. Call everyone in the debt in. Break the American economy. Break it. Break it. Bankrupt us. Force Trump to deal with it. What the fuck? He's bankrupt everything else. Do it. Because once you do it, then everyone will be effective. Then everyone will have to step up and say, oh no, he's got to go. Will this cause economic disaster? Will we all suffer? Yes. But that's the only way to stop him right now. Either that or put some military might behind it. I am surprised the Canadians or the Mexicans had not broken off diplomatic relations and sealed the borders and sent their military to the borders. I'm surprised. Everyone's trying to play nice. You can't play nice with this guy. He's crazy. His people around him are fucking nuts. They're crazy. Stephen Miller, do you see that? That man's nuts. Kristi Noem is crazy. They're all crazy. I saw Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, clapping his hands in glee about taking things from Venezuela that don't belong to him. And Lindsey Graham wants to invade Cuba. You know, that's not a good idea. Okay? We created Batista, the man that the dictator that Fidel Castro overthrew. That's why they overthrew. Okay? They overthrew American dictator. That's how Castro came to power. And you keep forgetting that. They keep fucking forgetting that. And I know those Cubans and all those people that ran during that time who were Batista followers been spreading this bullshit about Castro. Keep forgetting that Batista was a monster. He was a monster. That's why Cuba changed. So, and well, was it bad? Yeah. They changed one monster for another. They really did. Excuse me. And so Cuba's been dealing with it. It's Cuba's problem, though. Okay. And Lindsey Graham is saying we're just going to invade Cuba. Cubans will not put up with that. They will fight to the bitter end. And unless you Cuban expatriates want to run down there and help, I got 3 words for you. Bay of Pigs. Tried that once before with Kennedy. Didn't work. Okay. But that's going to kill American soldiers. The idea if Venezuela doesn't do what they want, they're going to put American soldiers on the ground. People will fight. Hell, Greenland will fight. Okay. You don't walk in there and start occupying the country and people will do things. That's what happened in Iraq, in Vietnam, in Afghanistan. You fucking dipshit MAGAs keep talking about, well, now you're supporting a dictator, Maduro. No, we're just not supporting a war of occupation. One, it's illegal. Two, it cost American lives. 56,000 for Vietnam, 4,500 for Iraq. And I don't know how much for Afghanistan. Someone will probably put it in the comments, and I appreciate it. See, that's the thing, and it never works. It causes more problems. And these guys with their 19th century thinking is killing us. Meanwhile, what's going on in Congress? Nothing. Nothing. That's why I think probably within a month or so, it's going to be all of us standing up and said, fuck it. Because we got nothing to lose. They're pushing us into nothing to lose. And when that happens, that's when it gets ugly. I was talking about the Second Amendment. Yeah, that's when it gets ugly. And your 30%, you little fucking MAGAs, don't have any idea what's coming for you. We don't want to do that. We will do it. Okay? We will fight for our country. And if you're using the things that we're not responsible because I didn't vote, fuck you. And I know a lot of your latte liberals voted for Jill Stein thinking that none of this would happen. Here we are. And the worst thing about it, a lot of you people didn't want to vote for a woman because they're emotional. Donald Trump is a fucking toddler. He doesn't like people not talking against him. He gets all uptight. And the reason that he invaded because Maduro made fun of him in a dance. Okay. Oh, by the way, that Maduro going to court is not going to work well. They're already having problems. Because once you get into a court, that's about law. It's about law and proof. You just can't go in there and go, okay, here he is. Government says he's guilty. Go and make him guilty. Not going to work. Not working. Not going to work. Because he has a right to defend himself. And he's going to defend himself. And innocent for proven guilty. Honestly, you should have done a military tribunal. That's what you should have done if you're going to do it. Because then you have more control. But no, Trump always does something half-assed. That's what he did here. Venezuela's half-assed. We just took them and then we just threatened them. We're going to take the oil. and oil companies aren't going. If you haven't seen Mr. Global's videos, go check him out. He's right. Matt Randolph, who has his finger on the pulse of the industry. It's too expensive. The oil's not worth it, and Venezuela is part of OPEC. It's crazy. Absolutely nuts. Because there's no plan. The only plan is just chaos. Because within chaos, they fear they're going to be able to get more power. And it's, here we are. So now what? I think the immediate issue right now we have to deal with what happened in Minneapolis. And the state of Minnesota has to be not afraid to go after that ICE agent and arrest him. Arrest him. Arrest every one of those ICE agents that are involved and put them on trial for murder, attempted murder, and accessory to murder. Make the federal government respond. You can't send in the National Guard. And basically, Walt says he's going to send out the National Guard, which he can do to protect Minnesotans, because obviously ICE has lost their minds. This is all now states. This is on Minnesota. What are states going to react? What are local police going to react? Are we going to have what happened in Michigan when this lady was protesting with Venezuela and you arrest her? By the way, she needs to file suit against the Grand Rapids or whatever that police department was, because that was basically a couple of cops being offended that did that. So that's where we're at. We are at a point of we're not helpless, okay? What we are is in the beginning of a fucking disaster. Now, we can hope that the Grim Reaper solves some of our problems. One person said, "Where's J.D. Vance?" J.D. Vance has vanished. Kind of interesting. I believe that the only person running this country around is Stephen Miller. That could be handled. But the point is, I'm asking the rest of the world, react properly to Trump. Either set up military barriers or call in our debt. Here in the United States, I'm not making excuses. I don't want your sympathy. And I mean it in this way. I didn't vote for him. A lot of people didn't vote for him. But we're all part of the problem right now. We are the bad guys. And if you want to use this as a way of, shirking your responsibility as an American, get the fuck out of my way. Okay? I'm up here saying what I have to say. And I'm encouraging other Americans to do the same. Don't let them get away with the lies. And two, if it comes to it, and it's going to get to it, then even my badass knees with my cane will stand out there and go, no, it is time. I will stop working. All of us should stop working at one point because it's not worth it. Honestly, it's not worth it. Okay? And that's when the panic starts in. See, the thing about it is we need suffering for everyone. MAGA thinks that they still got a fucking clean slate. They don't. We're all part of this. All of us. Especially the far left, the far right, all of us. They're taking away our middle class. They want us all to be serfs. They all want us to follow Trump blindly. Fuck that. Okay? It is time, I would say, at the end of the month. Someone's saying January 20th for a general strike. Fuck it. Okay? There are more of us than there are of them. And I get the European frustration because they're afraid of a world war. They're afraid of, without the United States properly in place or NATO, Putin will just say, fuck it. Hi, Poland. Remember me? Same thing for the Baltic states that have gotten away from Russian influence. The Europeans don't want a war. Canadians don't want a war. Mexicans don't want a war. The only one wants a war is Donald Trump and his fucking cadre. And you motherfuckers voted for that thinking he was the peace president. You motherfuckers voted for, didn't vote for Trump, voted for Jill Stein, or voted for Trump because of the Palestine thing. I remember you. How'd that work out? Now here we are, knee deep in shit. So I want to make this clear for everyone. This is bad. But now it's time for us to react as Americans. Don't ask for sympathy from the Europeans. I'm glad the Europeans are pissed at us. They should be. We put him in power. Even if he didn't vote for him, we put him in power. We had chances to get rid of him 4 years ago. We didn't. Why? Because part of our political system still thinks it's 1986. Okay, Trump doesn't play by rules. There are no rules for him. He's never had rules called on him. He's always gotten out of it. And it continues to this day. Okay, the only way he's going to get out of it is when the Grim Reaper comes from him, and he's coming soon. That's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, why I'm doing this live is because you need to spread this as much as you can, speak on it, but We need to be personally responsible with what's going on right now in the United States. Okay, simple as that. Fuck you, MAGA. I'm your Huckleberry. If you think that you're intimidating me, fuck you. Okay? Because we know you're weak. We know you've been called out. I'll see that in all my comments. Go ahead. All right? And two, be prepared for a general strike. Be prepared to stand up. Because that's the thing. I get the Europeans being pissed. They'll do that in a drop of a hat. Okay? But when enough Americans stand up, that's when the panic starts. And if the European and the world wants to help, call in our debt. Threaten to call in our debt and watch what happens. Or literally put up a military blockade or break off relations. Because the more you talk but don't do anything, Trump is not afraid of you. That's what bullies work, how bullies work. You have to go out there and punch them in the mouth, or at least slap them and say, this is what we're going to do. You want the next one? Honestly, break off or call. The first step is to call all your ambassadors back. Call every ambassador back for consultation. That's the first step. Second step, Canada, close off your border. Mexico, close off your border. Call up your military. Because he's threatening you. Denmark, you can send troops into Greenland. It is your territory. You can't send ships. Make them think about it. Because they're not thinking about it. They think that's what happened to Venezuela will be happening to everyone else. It won't. It's right in Colombia. You think the Colombians are going to go over easily? No. Remember, this is a madman with little minions running around trying to take advantage of it. And the only way to deal with him is to punch him. For fuck's sake, stop being Neville Chamberlain and trying to reason with a madman. Call his bluff. Call in the dead. Bring up your military and watch what happens. I mean, Marco Rubio talked about, we just want to buy Greenland. Where's that money coming from, you motherfucker? Okay. That's why I'm here. And also, states, time to start prosecuting ICE agents for violating people's rights in the states. If that's an American citizen, they need to be arrested. Minnesota, Minneapolis, Tim Walz, this is on you now. You have to react. Don't be afraid anymore. Fuck him. What are they going to do? They can't bring in the National Guard, and then Tim Walz calls out the National Guard. Do it. Fuck it, dude. You're not running for governor anyway. Press them. Arrest those people today. Don't fuck with this. That's the problem. Everyone keeps fucking with it. Stop it. It's time to fight. Physically and politically. Because they are, and they don't care anymore. You saw that. They're willing to spill blood. What are we willing to do? Jesus, Lord Almighty. Grow a pair. Huh, Chuck Schumer? Hakeem Jeffries? Someone get on a microphone and scream. Be like the mayor of Minneapolis who said, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. And it's time for us to tell Trump, get the fuck out of the White House. Tell Republicans, do your fucking job in Congress. Because that's our problem right now. Everyone's like too shocked or scared. Fuck scared. We're fucked anyway. The question is, do you want to get to the point where you're looking out the window and see the mushroom cloud? Or do you want to do something before it gets that bad? Ask yourself that. Spread this lie. Spread my message. It's time for us to have some gonads and do something. Okay? Speak out. Do you know every time you speak out, it drives them nuts? We can't let them get away with lies and call them out on it. Because that's the only way it works. And as for the rest of the world, you better fucking step up on him. If not, you're going to end up in a real bad place because he doesn't give a fuck. And the rest of those people around him don't either. All right. I reached the limit of my voice. I want to thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Again, you can find me here at Binder38US on Substack, Binder38US on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok, RJ127. If you haven't subscribed to my paid subscription, please, I could use the help, especially with medical bills. But other than that, have a good rest of the day. Spread this live, spread the message that we are all responsible, that we all have to stand up, and we all have to speak the truth. Simple as that. Now it's a matter of survival. You guys have a good night.